come to court in the daytime, we use the van anyway. But I would as soon have the Explorer, if I can. Like I said, it's about $400 more than the four-door pickup.
This includes all our special rebates and prices and everything?
That includes everything.
Employee discount?
Well, I
All
don't,
that stuff?
I don't know about the employee discount, but
So you're saying you're gonna have the Explorer than supposed to be?
I would rather have it, yes. But like I said, there's $400 difference.
It's not a great deal.
No.
Okay, if it would be used, better use for you, right?
Well, I can, just like Rob's vehicle, when you put a cage in, there's more room in the back seat than there is in the pickup when you put a cage in. And just a little more room.
These have the, that includes what all needs additional, for the alternator and everything.
Right.
They're police equipped and they're
Well, they don't call it that anymore, but they're heavy duty.
heavy duty.
Right, so they've got
So
the
you got
bigger
that
alternators.
part in.
Right,
Handle everything.
right. Because they're pickups, they don't really have a police package for pickups.
Dodges are,
Yeah, there are. And from personal experience, the insurance on Dodges are higher also.
no, they-
And I have one for sale if anybody wants one.
No comments.
Kill them, you get a different one. Mhm.
And our house litigation. Don George is calling for something. Scare him.
Sure up, I bought a new car in January and my daughter already took it away from me.
well, I was thinking of $400 or something. I'd make a motion that we, if we're gonna purchase it.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Allowing the purchase of the Explorer,
Have the Explorer for $19,131.
$19,131.
Difference.
Difference.
Army's right.
Right,
Well, now it's 15,000 on the old one, which is not bad.
that's pretty good.
Total cost is 34, what, 35, right? It's probably a little mileage in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exceed the 100,000, we'll put it that way.
Never been off a oil road.
Yeah. And it is a good thing we have those four-wheel drives, 'cause just like this weekend, we couldn't have went anywhere. Rob actually led the ambulance, there was an ambulance call in the middle of that snowstorm on Friday night, and he actually made a path for him, at least got on 281 and the DOT helped from there, but we couldn't have done that without him.
Maybe we ought to get a Hummer.
I don't want to home.
They're cheap.
Yeah. One other thing I was gonna mention earlier, and it hasn't happened yet, but I think Joe probably realizes it's gonna happen too. where they're closing prisons at the state level, that's gonna put more people in the county jails, which I didn't anticipate that in my budget. Plus, when that happens, and I've already talked to several sheriffs, they're gonna have to raise their rates probably. So I'm anticipating at some point this year, instead of $45 a day, we may see 55 or 60 a day. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, or you guys, but I just want you to be
So
aware.
they're gonna have more in there, so they gotta charge more.
Right,
Looks like he had less in there, you charge.
You have to hire more people,
right,
buy more food,
correct.
probably hire some more people for laundry.
And one big headache for him is the medication and the doctor visits, and which we had made an arrest yesterday, and after the arrest, the individual was complaining about his back hurting, and when we got to the jail, he back kicked the wall, so we figured he was fine. But when they get in there, they always want medical attention.
Well, absolutely, get your dentist work done and they fixed up.
Other than that,
Did you say one time we can, if we find any funds, you can go back and recap some of these monies we pay on prisoners?
You can try and recapture some of the costs of jailing them, and we have done that to a very limited extent here in Stafford County. The biggest problem is, very often we get people who have two nickels to rub together.
We'll take one of them.
Actually, you do a lot better recouping from DUIs than pretty much any other type of crime. You get these young burglars, you know, typically they're involved in drugs, they don't have money. If they got court-appointed counsel, you can pretty much forget collecting your jail per diem. We have collected more reimbursement in the last year or so than we have ever before, but even so, we're still, you know, not breaking even, not close.
But there's nowhere down the road, say, and say years later, they are capable of paying it back, you still can't.
You can try, but these are the type of people who always seem to subsist on the margins.
They have money to it.
Well, if they have money, it goes up their nose or into their arm very quickly. No, what drives you nuts if you're a sheriff, you know, Jeff's a lucky sheriff because he doesn't have a jail, he doesn't have the day-to-day headache of, you know, making decisions at the jail, but what'll drive you nuts as a sheriff is you get somebody on like a third or fourth time DUI where you're stuck with them for 90 days, come hell or high water, and that's a 90-day minimum, and they have medical problems because they've been a drunk all their lives. We got one up there in Ellsworth now who's costing us probably about $700 a day. Well, you guys have a laundry list of stuff, for everything from blood thinners to you name it. I mean, and it's fairly legit in the sense that he just got out of prison about 4 or 5 months ago. His mother decided to move to Ellsworth, and she brought him with. And you know, so we checked the prison to make sure he wasn't trying to scam us. And now the prison was pumping a lot of prescription drugs into him. It's funny how you get. The sad thing is in America, I'm speaking for the camera. In America now, you get better medical care if you're a felon in DOC custody than if you're just an honest poor person.
That's true. That's too bad.
It's really obscene.
Yeah, it is obscene.
You want to discuss the cereal malt beverage thing
Oh,
while Jeff's here?
Sure, I mean, very briefly, counties are awful passive about, you know, cereal malt beverage licenses. Oh, you want one? Here it is. Statutes make it quite clear, boards of county commissioners can put as many bells and whistles as they want on the issuance of a cereal malt beverage license. At Ellsworth, we got all wound up and PO'd at the world, I guess. We got tired of people trying to open topless bars by Lake Canopolis. And that's in the southeast corner of the county, and we were tired of seeing the sheriff's department have to run down there every, you know, 2-3 nights a week. And so we've made getting a cereal malt beverage license next to impossible in Ellsworth County.
I don't think we wanna do that here, but we just need to
But we normally
clamp down
have,
a bit on,
we
And
normally
of course,
have
this only,
townships.
this only covers unincorporated areas.
Right.
Cities have exclusive jurisdiction in their, geographic border.
But we don't normally notify the township boards and such and see if there's anybody out there that object to.
right, but they never do.
Never do this.
Because, I don't know if Jeff's seen that, but basically the bottom line is you have tremendous discretion in putting conditions on issuance of cereal malt beverage licenses.
Somebody told me once that if they didn't have a felony, you couldn't turn them down.
Yes, you can turn them down for a whole variety of reasons. That they're, and this county is zoned, unlike Ellsworth County, you could even tie it into your zoning if you wanted.
I can't remember who told me that, but I was told that if they don't have a felony, you cannot turn them down.
So that's, if the counties don't utilize their home rule powers, maybe that might be true. I mean, the thing is, you can, you're actually encouraged to by the language of the statute.
Well, I don't think we've been too liberal anyhow around here, but we have.
There's just one that I'm concerned with.
And
The racetrack,
we think there's
because we've had trouble out there.
I think that one there.
lots of collateral
And
activity
he'll be
there.
in today or tomorrow for his renewal.
Okay, can we?
He might have a problem off the bat because he doesn't have the
Yes.
taxpayer ID number.
Sales tax number for it.
Yeah,
And for years, they've been letting you get by with, well, he's been applying for it. Well,
you can go and get one the same day.
I know. I've given him the stuff to get it, and he hasn't. So,
So we can turn that one down and
If he doesn't have a taxpayer ID number for state sales tax, the answer is yes, we can turn him down.
if he gets that tax number,
Then we're more hard pressed.
So on the prescribed hours of closing, is there, I always thought it was midnight.
There is no state statute which addresses it. It's purely done at the local level. You can make it 12 midnight, you can make it 2 in the morning, you can make it 10 PM, there's, no hard and fast rule. Only time you get in trouble, maybe if, say, you could be open during the hours of 4 PM and 6 PM and no other hours or something like that. I mean, that's kind of like what you call a taking, you're taking away the whole day from them, but no, you have every power, authority to put a midnight closing or 11 PM or 1 PM or whatever you think will work. I mean, typically what you're doing is trying not to overburden your sheriff's department, which is the only law enforcement entity out that hour.
So, okay, some cereal malt beverage, the rules do not, what am I trying to say? As far as the ABC,
They have nothing to do with it. It's gotta be strong beer or alcohol.
but they have the rules and regulations of when you can be open and when you have to close.
So that's
and
for
so on.
strong beer and
And liquor.
So,
alcoholic
the
liquor.
ABC rules do not apply to
No,
cereal
sir.
malt beverage.
Right.
No. And I always say there's a tremendous difference between giving a cereal malt beverage license to, say, a convenience store, than a place where it's consumed on the premises, because that's where you have the problems.
But is it true that it's no more than 3.2 for cereal malt beverage?
Correct, that's the cutoff.
But strong is anything greater than
3.2.
How do we know
There's
it's not
no-
selling strong?
Somebody's told me there's some code on the cans or something. I've never.
Actually, the can on the top
Is imprinted
said, yeah.
What it is, that's what it is.
by volume, no more than 3.2.
I guess when I drink beer, I'm too thirsty to look for.
Yeah, it's.
Well, that's when you wipe it off, you feel there's pressure, and you there you go.
I've never, other than certain, those weird beers, I've never been able to taste the difference between you know, cereal malt beverage and strong beer, whether it's Coors or, you know, anything like that.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of it's 3.3. I mean,
Yeah, how do you
yeah,
determine
it's just
exactly what
over
it is?
3.2, so they can't sell the cereal malt beverage.
Scientifically speaking, they're very close. One is by weight and the other's by volume. The 3.2 is 3.2 and the other started, yeah, 3.6.
So we could impose hours of serving and, which there's not now, right? And is there hours of operation or are they?
Not unless you create them.
That's why we did, I guess we want to know, can we go ahead and draft something for our county? It won't be exactly like Ellsworth County, obviously, but.
That's
We
like I
just
say,
need-
was basically
Yeah.
the commissioner drawing a line in the sand. We're tired of idiots who want to try and run topless bars down around Lake Canopolis.
Yeah, I see it addresses nudity in here. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
What you're saying, Nina, is that Joe
Have a uniform.
something?
I think uniform, that's just as far as,
I think we need something in
Yeah.
place.
I do too.
It probably,
Maybe not.
it probably doesn't need to be longer than 1 or 2 pages
I wouldn't think
max.
so.
You know, like I said, this was several years of frustration went into that one.
yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. I would have something that, some guidelines to follow on, we just,
Well, we never had a problem until the one up north.
Right, and with their license, they can be out there at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, there's nothing to do about it.
So, like the one place here in town, that comes under the city?
City.
Right,
The tavern here in town that I've seen is probably well within city limits, so it's up to the city of St.
right.
John to
Because I know as
license.
they approach the city, if she was in
And
that
so
spatial.
the short stop is
one
outside of
in
the city?
county, yeah,
Right.
you
It
just
is.
renewed
It's a
it
township.
today,
Yeah.
yes,
But that's where it's just sold, it's not
It's
consumed on
convenient.
the
Right.
premises.
right.
Right. So up there it's sold and consumed with no,
Right. The only one out in the county.
with no restrictions of hours of operation?
The golf course has.
Oh, true, yeah. Right, there's no
So do
restriction.
they race after midnight?
They stay out there, I don't know if they race. And they're out there all hours.
Okay.
I think we need to get something drawn up.
I can try and sit down with Jeff and come up with something, obviously a lot shorter than what I showed you, so.
I think they'd appreciate you listening, to
Yeah,
some guidelines and know what they're gonna, you know, rules like earlier, so.
And see, the backstory to Ellsworth County is at one time, they had a music stage band shell down at Canopolis.
Yes.
And they also had another place that used to be a restaurant. And both of them are owned, well, they're probably gonna be owned by the county unless they pay their taxes. But they were owned by a corporation called Western Playgirl, Inc. And Western Playgirl, Inc. seemed to find more yo-yos to come in and try and run these places. They always tried to, you know, attract people from Salina and Hutchinson and whatnot. Come out here, there's no rules. And we got tired of it.
Sounds like sewer used to be.
All right.
So, do you have the authority, I mean, if you went out and you,
Yeah, we
things were out of hand, say at 1 o'clock in the morning, do you have the authority to shut them down and say, you know,
Well, I mean, if they were near somewhere where a resident was complaining, yeah. But the problem is, that resident that lives there is not gonna complain. We've went out there when people complained about them coming out on the road, and we've got some DUIs out of it, but I don't think I have the authority to go out there and tell them to shut it down unless there's complaints of noise or,
But if we
Or
adopt
crime.
this resolution and it's
Yeah.
after midnight when they say shut it off,
Right.
then you could do something.
correct?
Right.
But what do they say they purchased before midnight?
Well, I mean, if it depends on how you word that in the,
That's what you have to worry, because they might say, well, we bought these all up before
you know,
midnight.
consumption after midnight.
Consumption, no consumption.
Consumption, that's the,
Certain
way
hour.
it's written up in there.
Well, I want you to dream up some stuff. Of course, it don't want to be a Gestapo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that would be a good idea for a while.
Yeah, I do have one other question, especially when Joe's in here. And I need to talk to a few more sheriffs, but, and now, like, it's not a good time to relate to the hours because I'm training a new dispatcher, but when Regine has a lot more to do than the other dispatchers, and obviously when we did that survey thing, they even said that. Now, she's working extra hours every day, and it's costing me money. And I've talked to some other sheriffs that have the TAC officer or administrative assistant, they call them, that does all the bookwork, the money, bookkeeping, everything. And they have them on a salary, so that it doesn't matter. Right. Is that something I can look at doing without getting in trouble with FSLA
Oh,
or?
there's a kind of a bright line rule they have now. If you get paid more than so much a month, you're considered, whatever, management, and you have to worry about overtime. It used to be they come up by titles where, oh, you're a manager, you don't get overtime. Well, you had situations where every convenience store had 5 or 6 managers. McDonald's had all these managers, so they've gotten away from the title, and now it's just a question of what you're paid a month.
What's the magic number?
I'll have to look it up. I just looked it up last week and promptly, went
So you're talking
out
about
one ear and out the
payroll
other,
She would only work 8 hours a
She's
day.
one,
Well, I mean, that's my question for him. If she's on a salary,
It has to be a certain amount, otherwise she is entitled to.
right, let's say it's that certain amount, and she works 8 hours for 2 days and has to work 10 for 2 days, you have to pay her extra for the 2 hours? You don't.
Not if her salary is above a certain
Right.
amount. I just did that for EMS up in Ellsworth County.
Okay.
I got tired of paying.
See, my idea was if she has to work 10 hours and
and
she's
something
on
maybe
salary.
Is there, some of that, could you delegate to somebody else though?
Yeah, and I've done that in the past, and it's, some of it, if she does this, and I have someone else do this, and then it gets crossed, and it gets messed up, and it's just so much easier for her to
One
do it.
person
Yes.
does, I see.
But you can't relieve her of something else where she can do this entirely.
Well, just like the VINs, see, that'd be easy, I could have someone else do the VINs, except for she works during the day, and that's when we do VINs, it's not at night. I mean, I've got midnight to 8 dispatcher that would love to do some of it, but I've tried that before, back when Janie was midnight to 8, and it got all messed. I mean, just because 2 people were trying to do basically the same thing from different ends, and I remember the auditors even said you need to try to just have one person. Well, I do that, but then if she has to dispatch during the day, she doesn't have time to work on it, and then she works on it after 4, well, it's,
Well, maybe get Joe and figure if you can come up with something and pay if you want to.
And the biggest problem was when the TAC officer deal started, and you have to have a TAC officer. There's a lot of paperwork involved in the TAC officer's job that she has to keep up and send to the state. And it made it worse. And she, just like the grants, she works on the grants. Well, that's how we got enhanced 911, was because she got that grant. Otherwise, we'd never had it, because we couldn't afford it. But and that's time consuming, and she's working on a grant now, so. But it's just breaking.
So what
as
happens
far
when
as-
she goes on vacation?
Well,
You have
actually,
someone else that can,
part of it, like the VINs, yes. The TAC officer stuff, no. I mean, it just put on hold. And then
Well,
it
you
gets
can't
behind.
train somebody else in that field, then she can, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can have more than one TAC officer, but that's a lot of training.
I'm thinking about say something you'd have to. Where are you
I'd have to
facing
send
that
someone
unless
else to train.
unless you had somebody?
Well, and see, Rob has also been to the same training. I mean, as far as the TAC officer goes, he could fill in until we got someone else. But as far as keeping the books, I just have to start with someone else.
Nobody else can do the vouchers and keep the books.
We do the vouchers when she's gone, Rob and I, in the past, yeah. Because, yeah, nobody else does vouchers.
well, I'd say get your heads together and
See what you come up with that thing.
How come she doesn't park in the parking lot?
Do what?
How come she doesn't park in the parking lot like the rest of them?
I don't know. She parks in front of that other building. If that's a problem, she can park in the parking lot.
It won't be there, parking won't be there anyhow.
Right.
well, as soon as this is torn down, we'll have plenty of.
Parking back here is hard.
Well, you guys tearing that?
That would relieve some of the congestion there in the alley.
And we get our, every then you have room parked behind
Yeah.
there, then not have all out there up and down the alley where you can't.
And I haven't heard anything from the architect. Has anybody, I mean, the last time he was here, he changed some things and,
It's supposed to be good. We got the zoning changed for the front. We had to go through the city. Was that a week or two ago?
Last week.
And you called, didn't you?
These blueprints will be printed the 15th of June.
15th of June. Good.
So we'll have a set of prints,
I set of prints.
hopefully mechanical.
Then we'll have an agreement with the mechanical engineer and electrical engineer, and I don't know what else. But then the bids will be let.
all right, well, I'll do some more checking and kind of talk to Joe about it.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Well, look at some good news, it's probably as full as we've been all of 2009, 7 people in jail, that's not bad. I mean, but the year before, we were pretty much averaging between 15 and 20 a day. And maybe we're turning the corner a little bit.
Maybe we got some of the ones we put in jail's got that alley.
Well, crime is kind of like, water, it's gonna seek its own, right? Not water, electricity's a better example. It's gonna choose the path of least resistance.
Okay, do you have anything else, Joe?
No, I just want to make sure that you
You
guys have a
gentlemen
chance
Yeah,
to
I do.
Tax rate.
digest that thing on economic development.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what
Also, it's very difficult to measure whether or not somebody's doing a good job or not. Now, up in Ellsworth, they had a good measure, we had a couple of vacant factories. If you could put something in those factories, you were doing a good job. This current one we got, this Fillion guy, he got Great Plains, the farm equipment manufacturers, that go into that old Craft World building on 156 highway, which sat vacant for like 8 years, which, so right there, he earned his keep for a couple of years.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve these tax roll corrections.
Second.
It's been moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried to approve the tax roll abatements. Do these need to be signed on camera?
No.
No. Anything else? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.